Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? Incoraids here, just chilling by the donut spot. So today's gonna be a little bit different. Today we're not gonna do a bunch of stories or too much like building of structures. Today I need XP, and I so need a better way to get XP. This is actually getting kind of ridiculous. Let me explain. So right now, my main ways of getting XP are either breaking ore or quartz or something. Just no, that takes way too long. I could also trade with villagers. Also, like, just too long. Who could be bothered to do this all day? I also have my mob grinders, but I mean, like, this is not the way I want to spend my days gathering XP. Like, no, just no. And one of the reasons I need all of this XP is because I decided to upgrade my armor, and I went diamond, and I spent all day gathering XP to get even to get like, yeah, and just enchantments, and I spent, oh my god, I think I spent like 100 some odd levels. Also, this bow took forever. Took absolutely, oh my god, that was horrible. That bow took 60 levels by itself. That's insane. But now I need a good way to get XP, right? So that's what we're going to work on today. We are going to work on a passive XP farm, and it's really cool. All right, so this little setup right here is pretty much like it's pretty much our setup. This is how we're going to get passive XP. And the way this works is every time you use a furnace to smelt something, it provides you XP. Like, it saves XP until you remove the item. Okay, and it's not necessarily a lot of XP, but you can change this. So right now I have copper going through here. Copper is going through this hopper into this chest right here, and every time it smelts copper, it leaves me with a little bit of XP inside the furnace. And if I want to extract that XP, I just need to put a lever, flip the switch, it locks the hopper. So the next time something like right here, this raw copper, the next time it smelts, I'll be able to remove it like so, and boom, I get the XP that's stored inside the hopper. So we're going to use this like a little piggy bank, right? And so this is one part of the equation. Another part of the equation is what we're going to smelt. And we are going to smelt cactus, because cactus is very, 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 very easy to farm. And the way you farm it is like this. So we are going to place down a block of sand, okay, and then a cactus on top of that sand. Now that cactus will grow at max up to 3 cacti tall. So one, I can't put it, oh, I can. 2, and then one more, okay? Now the way we're going to farm this is we're not going to let it get to too high. We're going to make it break and fall off itself at too high. And the way we do that is we place a block right here next to where the cactus is going to grow, because it still will grow, but it'll break immediately if there's a block or like a fence post or something next to it. And we're going to use that mechanic in order to get a lot of cactus. Part 2 of the equation is fuel. Now we can use blaze rods, we can use lava buckets, all of which are too much work. Just way too much. So the best choices here are either going to be coal. This is also too much work. It requires gathering. Or what we can farm, dried kelp blocks. So we are also going to build a kelp farm. Okay, step 1 is done. Part 1 of the equation is done. I actually built this on a stream over on Twitch, and I hate building cactus farms, which is why I didn't record while I was doing it. I just kind of made it busy work. But yeah, it's a cactus farm, and it's, if you can see, like, it's just cactus lined up, and then there is a fence post right there, or I'm sorry, right there. And whenever that cactus grows, it'll grow, and that fence post will be next to it, and then the cactus will break, fall into this water stream, and go into the collection area. Like that one right there. Oh my god, that was perfect timing. So the next part of this equation is going to be fuel, right? So kelp. We're going to do kelp because kelp is awesome, and I don't have to mine for it. And yeah. So I have cleared out this. This is right above the cactus farm. So if we go right down here, see, there's the cactus. The design I'm going to build is going to be actually a design I found on Impulse's channel, Impulse SV for Mimicraft, but he took it from Ilmango. So it's a very lag friendly design. There's no exposed redstone, which is going to be awesome, and it's very tileable and it's very efficient. So the way we're going to do this, and it's a very simple design too, is I'm going to start with this block here. This block is just here so I can place something. I want to place an observer there. I want to place an observer facing into that observer. And I'm going to need some dirt so I can scaffold real quick. Scaffold, 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 scaffold. I want to place an observer facing into that observer. And then we're going to place a piston on top of that. This is the majority, this is the majority of the entire thing, actually. This is the base. So what's going to happen is I'm going to grow kelp on this on this observer right here. And when it grows, it is going to signal this observer, because this observer is going to notice that. This observer is going to notice this observer noticing the kelp. This observer is going to notice this observer, noticing this observer, noticing the kelp. And this observer is then going to send a redstone signal into this piston. And that piston is going to break the kelp. And we're all good. And the kelp is never going to grow past that piston. That's the main goal here. All right, so it will eventually look something like this. This is just a small model. Now, this is going to be 12 blocks wide, is eventually what it's going to be. And we don't want to go past 12 blocks. The reasoning we don't want to go past 12 blocks is because we have a water source coming from this stair and a water source coming from this stair. And when we start to go past 12 blocks, the water sources don't meet up, and you end up with this gap in between. We don't want that gap. We want the water sources to meet up, because as long as there is a water source on the left and the right of these pistons, then we'll always have a water source up top here. Like, I'll show you an example of what I mean, because I'm explaining it kind of poorly. So I'll break this. Now see, when that breaks, see how that piston fires? Normally it would delete the water source that's right there, but it didn't, because there's a water source on this side of it and a water source on this side of it, creating an infinite water source that it can't break. So we're good. So let me place this back. And then also, when the nice thing about this, so we're using leaves because we want to kind of get rid of the collision boxes and everything we can. So we're using leaves, and we're using a wall right there. So when it does break kelp, the kelp will slide over those leaves and in between the gap of the wall right there, and we can collect it with a water stream or with hoppers or whatever you would like. We can collect it right there. So this is going to cost you, per little slice, 3 observers, 1 piston, and then you're going to need a bunch of leaves and walls, which are really cheap to get. And you want this to be 12 wide. It's ultimately what you want it to be. Now, it could be less than 12, but you really don't want to go higher or larger than 12, right? You can keep it this 4 if you want. If this 4 works for you, that's fine. That's not a lot of kelp, because, you know, with things like this, the larger you go, the more multiplied your returns are, and that's what we want. We want lots of returns. So we're gonna fill this entire little area with these. So let's get to it. So I know we said no story time, but here I am, and here you are watching me put together a simple but fun to build redstone farm for kelp. And let's talk a little. So this has been probably the hardest last few months emotionally for me. There's a lot going on. I'm not going to get into a lot of the details, but as a few of you guys know, I was in a very bad accident a couple years ago, and the 2-year mark from that accident passed at the end of last month, and I didn't handle it too well. I'm still recovering. I'm still waiting for surgeries and things like that, and dealing with with insurance and authorizations, and I just want to get better. That's all I want. But it was a little rough on me. So it feels nice to be able to come back and play some Minecraft and do little simple yet rewarding tasks like this. Building cool redstone devices that I mean, again, this is a really simple one, but still it's cool and it's fun, and I built it to a large scale, which made me feel like I accomplished something today, even though this took a few days because I kept running out of materials and having to go back and forth and back and forth and mining and exploring and getting more and more materials because I was completely unprepared. So note to self, don't be like this guy hanging around. Get stuff done. For our auto crafting / smelting / all that kind of good stuff with the kelp, we're gonna start right here. I'm gonna build a little example. So here is the we're gonna start with this observer facing upward, and we want one more observer facing into it. So facing upward, facing into it. And then we need our redstone. So let's grab a single piece of redstone that's going to go on the upward facing observer. And then we have a comparator on top of this observer facing that way and one facing this way. This will all make sense, I promise. Now, I am going to use an auto crafter for this, but you can also use a composter. Composters work great for this. You want them all the way up to as full as they can get with the bone meal on top, and just leave it there. Don't take the bone meal out, and it will send a redstone signal from this comparator, because comparator will be reading how full that composter is, and you'll be harnessing that signal. So we are going to place a autocrafter here. I kind of want it to be straight for some reason. There we go. And I am going to mark 8 boxes inside. That is going to send a specific redstone signal right here on top of this observer. And then I need another autocrafter up here. And we're not going to click anything on this one. This one's going to be facing upward. Okay, so the way this works is this autocrafter is sending a signal of a specific strength right here. And then this autocrafter, when it is full, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, is going to send a higher strength. That higher strength is going to be read as a change by this observer. And then remember, we have an observer underneath it, facing into the block underneath this autocrafter. So this observer, noticing that change in signal strength, is going to fire a redstone signal into this autocrafter, which is going to have it eject anything that's inside of it. That's what we want. Now we're going to harness that some more by placing an observer facing down on the redstone, an observer facing down into that one, and an observer facing into the side towards the front, or where the upward facing autocrafter is. All right. So right now it should look like that. So now remember, this redstone signal is going to change when this is full. This observer is going to notice that change as well, signaling that observer, and we want to use that redstone signal coming out of the observer. So we're going to have some droppers, 1 and 2 right there, and we need a third facing outward. Okay, so 2 droppers going upward and 1 facing outward. That's where we're at so far. And this redstone signal is what's going to power this dropper stack right here. So we're actually almost done. This is almost done right here. So I want to use a hopper going either way. This is the hopper where you're going to use to collect your dried kelp blocks. So it can go either way, go that way or this way. Just doesn't matter really. Can't go down though. Don't want to go down. You also won't be able to go forward. And then we're going to have a hopper facing into the autocrafter. We're going to take a decorated pot, and we're going to place the pot on top of this hopper. Then we want a hopper going into the decorated pot right here, and a smoker on top of that. The reason we're using a smoker is because smokers cook kelp faster than furnaces. So we want to harness that quickness. And then lastly, I'll just go up with these. We have the intake into the smoker. And this is it. You are done. You have built the whole thing. Now, the way this is going to completely work, because we already know what this does, we already know what this does. Now we need to know what the hoppers are doing. So again, you have so actually let's start with the smoker. So I'm going to put some fuel in the smoker, and then I'm going to put, I went and grabbed a stack of kelp. I'm going to put the kelp in the hopper feeding into the smoker. So instantly starts cooking, and notice how quickly it's going, right? That kelp is going to go through this hopper into this decorated pot, through this hopper into the crafter. When the crafter creates a block, it is going to go into this hopper from the droppers, right? And we want it to go across, but we also want to be able to feed our smoker so we don't run out of fuel. That's what this hopper underneath is. It's going to pull from the hopper above it before the hopper above it goes across. And to make it so we don't have to have a ton of stuff in here, I'm just gonna use the observers I have on me, but you can fill the first 4 slots with filter material. Yeah, sorry, with filter material, and then just put 64 kelp blocks in here, and then 64 kelp blocks here, and you'll never run out. So right now, it's just refilling this, because once the kelp goes in here, the kelp block, it'll go in here and it'll fill this up. So let me throw some more in here and we'll see it work. See, now we have 4 in here. So it's going to feed here first, and then it's going to give you yours. And I'll show you how mine's set up. So this is how mine is set up right here. And as you can see, I have a 3 wide because this turns out to be the perfect amount for me. Do I still have a lot? Yep. I need to pick those up. There we go. I mean, I guess it could be a little faster, but yeah. So here we go. We have 3 wide because it's tileable, and I have 64 dry kelp blocks here, 64 dry kelp blocks here, and it won't go below that. And as long as this hopper and this hopper are full, it will eject its kelp into this hopper line, which is really ugly, and I know I need to do something about it. I have this hopper line feeding into an auto dropper, which is sending the dried kelp blocks to the next part of our equation. Okay, we have one more piece to the puzzle, and that is I want to know when XP is ready to be pulled. And that's what I have behind me. So this is where the cactus is coming through, right here, this line, and this is where the kelp blocks are coming through. Kelp blocks are being fed into these hoppers. And I built it kind of an incorrect dimension, so that's why there's a double stack of hoppers. Don't at me. And then the cactus is coming in through here. Now, I have these lights here. These lights are actually indicating when XP is ready to be collected. Okay, so I didn't mean to do that. But this is the XP needing to be collected. This is like where the maintenance part of everything is required. The way this circuit works is pretty cool. So we're going to disregard the lectern for now. And notice I have a chest that has some green dye in it, which means this has smelted some stuff. But it's not full. The chest isn't full yet. So we're not gonna pull the XP. It's not ready to go yet, right? So this comparator right here is reading what is in that chest and sending a redstone signal. That redstone signal is making its way through here to this circuit here. Now, if the redstone signal itself, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull some stuff out of here. If the redstone signal is 1, notice how this comparator is on and this repeater is off. It's because the redstone signal of 1 can't jump through these 2 lines, these 2 redstone dusts. It only can make it to 1, so this repeater is off, okay? Now, if we add in the green dye that was in here, it has a redstone signal greater than 1, meaning that this comparator is now off because this repeater is overriding it. We are going to harness this circuit right here in order to make it so that this comparator is on when there is a signal strength that we want. And we're going to do that by doing this. Bloop. Whole thing's off right now. So the way we did that is the redstone signal from here is now less than the redstone signal coming out of this lectern. I have it on page 15. A book on here, page 15, giving out a redstone signal. I believe it's a redstone signal of 8. Could be wrong there. My memory's not great, but I think it's 8. And so this whole circuit is now off. And then when this right here, when this fills up, it'll have a redstone signal greater than this one that's being put into the repeater. So this will now override this because this is on subtraction mode. See? Subtraction mode. Boop, boop, subtraction. So now this will have a redstone signal of 1. If this is 9 and this is 8, that is now an extra redstone signal of 1, which will push this through and have this comparator on, meaning that this redstone light will turn off, that one will turn on, so on and so forth, and it will light the cool little light up here, like this one is already right here. Okay, let's go ahead and let's get ourselves some XP. So I am going to flip this switch. Then I have to repair some stuff. So let's hold the stuff that we need repaired. And then let's remove the die. And boom, XP, everything's repaired. Oh, it's so awesome. I should have tried that with no XP. We'll do that again with no XP when it's ready. But that's going to be all I have time for today. Sorry if things seemed a little more hectic than usual. I recorded a lot of stuff without video, without audio. I just kept hitting record and not checking my sources. And yeah, so a lot of re-recording. But I hope some of the information was great. The smelter thing, yeah, the auto crafter. You can find that on the Xumas channel if you want a better explanation. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. And I hope you guys have a great day. Goodbye.